How's it going, everyone? This is Scott with Esports, and I'm pleased to be joined today by Jordan, aka Zellsis from Version1. We're going to talk their impressive 2-0 start to VCT NA Challengers 1. How you guys feeling so far?
We're actually feeling really good. I mean, obviously coming off 2-0 to start both weeks, it feels nice. So we're feeling really good. We're hoping to take a nice clean 3-0 against NRG next or this weekend. So hopefully we can keep the momentum going.
Well, let's start. Let's go backwards, and then let's work our way up to VCT now. So let's go back to the end of Champions, kind of off-season period. What sort of things were you guys going over in team meetings about what you wanted to accomplish and what you expected? Were there specific goals in mind? What were you talking about before the season even began?
I think before the season began, we just kind of wanted to put in a little bit more effort per se, like not like we weren't like trying to like scrim or practice or anything like that, but we just wanted to we wanted to grind a little bit harder than I guess we were. We kind of came short on a lot of our matches, I feel like, and we kind of went over a lot of our mistakes, and it just kind of didn't go in our favor. So we wanted to like tighten up on that stuff and make sure that like everyone was comfortable and like we were playing how people wanted to play, and like we were just making sure like individually we were all like on like the same page and everyone doing what they were comfortable doing, I think.
Around the scene, other teams made moves, other teams didn't make moves. What sort of things during the off season from other teams intrigued you?
I mean, there's a few teams, 100 Thieves, that made some interesting roster changes or interesting roster moves, I guess. And I don't know if it really made sense, but that's how they went. And then I don't really know the other roster moves. I guess I mean Hayes went to NRG, but that was like before, right? So I think that was like a good move for them. Uh, the guard picking up Trent. I mean, I think that Trent Kid's unreal. It's hard to say if he went to like a different team if he would still be as good. Like I think he kind of fits like that whole friendly, like they all have fun with it, and like MC is like a really good coach. So I think he fits like that whole environment. But I think that was like for the offseason, that was kind of it. I mean, we picked up Zander, great pickup, good kid. I really like him a lot. I have a lot. I think he's gonna have like a very long lasting career. He's very young. Um, and then Cryo picking up Xset. Obviously, that kid's also unreal. Sword Guild. So, yeah, that was kind of. I think the off season was kind of fun actually.
Let's skip ahead. Let's talk about Xander a little bit. During these past 2 weeks, a lot of players like yourself, Penny, Whippy, been getting a lot of attention just by sort of numbers you've been putting up. But somebody who isn't Xander hasn't gotten that same attention, but arguably should be getting some of that attention just because of what he provides to the team. In your words, tell me what he's bringing to the team in both his role and as a player overall.
I think he just Xander bringing to the team. I think he kind of just filled like the early round void voice that we needed. When Vanity was on the team, he would do a lot of early round calls, and then I would pick up majority of the mid round because I was like our like flex slash pack player. So I would do majority of the mid round, and I think once Vanity left, we struggled to have like that early round voice. I tried to do it. My fragging power lacked a little bit. My attitude towards the team kind of got a little rough trying to become that full-time IGL in such a short time, and there was no one else to really help with calling. I think it's very hard in this game to do solo calling. I think if you're doing solo calling, you're just always going to lack. Like I don't think you can be a tier 1 team if you only have one voice. I think it's impossible. So I think what Xander brings is just like that missing voice that we needed in the early round to like free up to allow me to do my mid rounding, to give my input, to take over games. And he provides a lot of like I think he provides more fragging than Vanity did and than Odorous had previously. So I think he's like a level up for our team. Um, but yeah, I mean he deserves a lot of recognition. He's a very calm IGL. He doesn't really rage. He doesn't really get like flustered or anything in situations. He reads the game really well. So I think he's really good.
There appears to be really good chemistry with this team that I assume you guys have been building up by playing open events. Groups like you and the guard have who played a lot of open events. Obviously, we see you're both 2-0. You're both winning matches by big margins. You've seen groups like Sentinels and Optic come out a little rusty, and then you've seen 100 Thieves obviously struggling mightily now, making roster changes. Is there enough proof now that every team should be doing these open qual events prior to and during and after VCT?
I think it depends. For NA scrims, it's a little rough. People kind of just like screw around and they don't really like. It's not really the same as like a match, right? So like for us, like we played NSG and we kind of used it to like practice like our weaker maps or different comps on certain maps or stuff like that. Like I think it just you look at these smaller tournaments and people see it as like, oh, you have to win it, or you know, you just lose and you suck, or your org looks at it as results or whatever, and it's like sometimes like that shouldn't be the case. Like we played NSG, we lost to Reformed, and we had a lot of close maps or a lot of close matches with a lot of teams, but we used it for practice and we came into VCT and now we're super confident. You know, we have matches under our belt. We're not like getting as nervous. We know what we're going into when we get into maps. We know what we want to play, etc. So, I think for certain teams or majority of teams they should be playing it like that. But it's hard to say because one, people's like egos will get the best of them. I'm not calling out any team. Like like everyone has an ego. Everyone in esports has an ego. So it's like egos will get the best of you sometimes. Personalities will get the best of you. Like some people, even if they lose like these Mickey Mouse tournaments or these smaller tournaments, like people are gonna get mad. Like it's just how it is. So like you just have to like you have to come into like Valorant with like an open mind, especially like there's so many comps you can run. There's so many like things you can do. Like I just think it's such an open world, and like people don't understand that yet.
You talked about the team's confidence level was high coming into VCT. Obviously, got to be pretty high right now. 2-0, I think you guys have a plus 34 round differential, which is just ridiculous. Obviously, confidence was high prior to VCT. But was this caliber of performance something you expected this early on?
I did not expect us to come. I mean, we just played like Knights and Rise. Like shout outs to those guys. Those guys are good, but we stomped them.
Mm-hmm.
But Rise is coming back into form. Like they beat Optic, so it was kind of scary to like. I didn't expect it to go that clean. I expected it to be a little retaliation, but no, I didn't expect us to come out and have like all these like, oh, we're just like beating these teams like convincingly. Like I expected us to have like a little roughness here and there and like have to iron out some details, but we're kind of just like, I don't know, it just feels smooth, you know? Like the
Mm-hmm.
whole it just feels smooth. Like obviously every team has their issues. Like we're not like perfect by any means, but we're working on getting there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I think only time will tell, I guess. Like we can only see what happens.
Is if there's something, obviously without giving any away strats, is there something you feel like, what's something that the team's still prioritizing? Is something that's like, okay, we could still iron this out a little, or still smooth this part out? Is there something in particular?
I think we're kind of actually like our core has been together for a long time, but I actually still think we're ironing out like chemistry and like communication and like getting to re-know each other type things and stuff like that. Like we're not like missing any steps. We're like kind of re-going back and retracing our steps and just like solidifying like who we are, our chemistry is what we mean to each other, etc. To like make that more team vibey slash like friendly family feel. So yeah.
If you look at your schedule through this VCT, it does seem like it's just an upwards difficulty curve throughout. So Knights, Rise, then Energy, Optic, Sentinels. It's literally just you're literally climbing a mountain. Um, I mean, it's better than the opposite. It's better than starting with Sentinels. Well, then again, they looked a little rusty. Who's to say? But obviously, an uphill battle for you guys. Great start so far. But how do you feel? So, how do you feel your comps and maps, or your strats, stack up against a caliber of NRG, and how do you think it's going to what do you think your advantages are against these teams as it gets seemingly harder in difficulty?
It's hard to say because like Optic looked really good uh against NRG, obviously. They looked a little shaky against Rise. They lost against Rise, but they looked really, really ironed out against NRG. And I actually had NRG very rated very highly in this coming into VCT. So I mean, we'll just have to say, like, I'm not really looking for like towards like Optic at Sentinels right now. I'm kind of just focused on NRG. Um, we obviously have this week to come up with our game plan. We have this week to come up with what we want to play and what they're gonna do and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, we're just taking each match by match.
Smart. Well, good luck to you. Great start for the team so far. Congrats on that. And yeah, keep it going. Fun to watch.